Hello, friends. This is a summer fruit collaboration. Our hosts are 6 Kids and a Glue Gun and Rustic and Lace DIY. Please check out their channel and the playlist of all the amazing creators in the description box. Today, Terry is making a watermelon and an ant painting just in time for picnic season.
Hey everybody. All right, we're going to make this really cute. It's going to be cute. I haven't tried one yet, but I know it's going to turn out. In fact, if you see this video, we know it's going to turn out. If not, you won't see the video. All right, so I want to first of all make a background for my watermelon slice. So I'm just putting in a light blue. It's kind of a little bit darker than what I would actually want, but since I've already got it on here, it's just as easy to add some white in here. Just take it back and forth. While I'm there, I've got some dark midnight blue. I'm going to go ahead and put darkness up here at the top. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. Yeah, and then we'll add some down here where our grass is going to go. Just pull some colors in there. Then on the green, I've got this light green here, and put that in. We want a summer day. Kind of looks cloudy at the moment, but we can lighten it up. Put that in. Let's touch down in a little bit of dark green. I'll do that all the way around. Our watermelon is going to take up the majority of this space, so we're not really worried too much about getting it perfect. We can go back in once we get the watermelon in place and add in other details. I'm going to take a scruffy brush. It's dry. I'm going to take off the excess paint. Good dab in there. And I'm just going to kind of create some clouds in here. So you just want to put your brush down. So the main part of your cloud, let's show you here. So it's a little bit easier. If I can get enough paint on my brush, let's put the cloud in like that. You can just tap it in. Then I'm going to take some of the white off, and then I'm going to tap on the outer edges of that cloud. And get it up there. We don't want a tornado looking coming at us picture. So I'm going to add in even a little bit more. But what that darkness up there is doing is separating our clouds, so we needed that in there. Then I'm going to tap down and just tap on the tops of those clouds if you want to enhance them more. And like I said, down here, I'm just showing you this because our watermelon's gonna go over that. There we go. And I've got blue on that brush, so I'm gonna clean it off. Add a little bit of white. Now this is going to be where the watermelon sits. You're not going to see much of that at all. So what I'm going to do is let that dry up, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go ahead and base coat in the watermelon, and then we'll get started. Hey everybody, we're going to create this watermelon with an ant. I went ahead and base coated in my background with a light blue. It was a little bit darker than what I wanted, so I did go in and add a little bit more white, which I'm gonna add even more. So I want this to be like a summer day. And I need a little bit dark down here. You're not going to see much of this background whatsoever because the watermelon's going to be pretty big. I'm going to actually even put some yellow. This is a bright yellow, but I don't want it all over this guy. I just want hints of yellow. And if that gets too yellow for you, just go in with a little bit of white. I'm going to take that yellow off of my brush. Go in with a little bit of white right over the top of it. And so where you're going to see the most of it is kind of right up in here. That's why we got more yellow there. And then down here at the bottom, I used a mild, about a medium green. It's called Wild Wasabi, actually. And I put it in here. And then I took my dark green, Black Forest green, and just added a shadow down here. Pull that across. And add in some more green if you want. Just bring it in from the side. And there we go. All right, I'm going to let that dry, come back, and we're going to have it base coated. Okay, I've got the watermelon. I just put in a basic watermelon shape, painted my ant black, and now we're going to add all the details. So on, of course, our watermelon shouldn't be all red. So I'm going to take another scruffy brush. And then add some white to it. And again, take most of it off on my paper towel. And I want to go in here and start pushing this down. Now, if your brush isn't dry enough, you're going to have big piles of white paint. If you really scrub, you'll get that to get in there, especially if you're using canvas. You have to scrub a little bit harder. Then I'm going to add in just a little bit of pink to this. And again, I'm going to dry brush it, so I'm going to take that pink off with my paintbrush, paper towel. And then I'm going to add some pink highlights. Pretty good with that. You want it darker down at the bottom. I'm going to add in a little bit more white. You want to keep that red down there at the bottom where it's always more color down there. Then on the rind part, I'm going to dip into that light green. And again, I'm going to take it off on my paper towel. I'm going to go right in there. This time I'm going to try to stay as close to the red part as possible. Always lighter there. Actually, I'm going to add even a little bit more. We have this part of our rind is more of the side here than this part. Now let's take a flat brush and we want to add in a little bit of yellow up here at the top part of our rind. So you've just got a corner. We're going to let that dry before we come back in with some white. Then on our red part, we want, you know, usually I will shade with black, but I want this really red at the bottom. So I'm going to pick up just a corner and go right against that yellow line that we put in there, so that we deepen the color of the watermelon down there. Now I'm going to go across the top and add a little bit of white to that. And I want to go right here on the top and highlight this part. You can pull that down some, right there where that ant is. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of my pink right in here. Add in a bit more water. Then if it gets too light, just add in some more red. Until you get it the way that you want yours to look. And then I'm really going to push that down into my red, because we don't want a solid line there. We just want it to look like it's gradually fading in there. Just like that. While I've got that white on my brush, I'm gonna go in, see if I can get some of this off on his cheeks. That's a perfect place to put that, because I've got a little bit of pink on there, so it helps with your blush. That is perfect. Okay. And take my liner brush. I'm going to put my eyes in here as white, of course, because we've got black. And you can make them round, you know, by using the end of your brush. I'm just going to make mine an oval shape. And we'll put like a little upside down C for his nose. And then let's just put, I always put that little, like the cheek area there, and then pull down. I'm not going to take it all the way up. I'm just going to make it a little smirky, I think. Okay, I like it that way. Okay, so this is his body coming down. This is his backside. And then we're going to now dip into the black, and we're going to put some antennas up here. Just hook them over, just like that. Kind of want to wait to put his, make that a little bit more round right there. Now let's put our seeds in. And to do that, we're going to use a round brush and add in some black. Then we're going to start just going straight down. So you want them kind of in the oval shape. So you touch and pull off to the side, touch and pull off to the side, and then fill it in. These will not be the same size on mine. They're going to be close. Touch and pull, fill it in. Now, if you want them perfect, it would be easier to go in and draw them in with your pencil first. I'm just going to put them in right here and see how they look. Perfect. Right? And then we don't want them in rows or anything. We want them kind of sporadic. I don't want to have to sit here and put 1,000 of them in, so we're just going to start a little ways down. So see how they're getting a little bit bigger now? We'll go ahead and put another row. Actually, we're just going to put 3 down here. We're going to let those dry before we go in and shade them. So using that same round brush, I'm going to clean it off. And I'm going to put it back in that yellow and a little bit of that green. Let's mix the green and the yellow together and run a soft line right here between the rind and the fruit part. We want that to kind of go into the green, push it off in there. So it kind of fades in. And dry this up. And we'll put the legs now of the ant in. So we want it to look like he's climbing up. So he's going to come down this way. And I'm going to put a couple feet legs up here so it looks like half his body is up there. So I'm going to pull that leg up more behind him and down. Then let's put that seed kind of took off a mind of its own. So what I'll do there is just go around it with my red. Okay, so let's put some eyes in here. I want to fill most of that with the black I just want that white part of the eye on the sides. Then taking that round brush, I'm going to go back and pick up some white. And this time we're going to highlight each of these seeds a little bit. I don't want it too white. I said too white, and then I go and put more white in, don't I? I'm going to go up on his forehead and take some of that paint off and add a highlight up there, coming right down. You want to make sure that your brush is really a soft brush when you're doing this. Go into his chest area with a little bit of a highlight, then on the back. And then we want to go back in those eyes with just a tiny bit of white. Set it down right there, that black oval shape. I'm going to put a couple of eyebrows up here. Oops. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put the other side of his face in there, or his smile. Put a couple of accent lines in there. Let's create more of a shadow underneath that watermelon. And let's see. Our watermelon rind is actually showing part of the bottom, you know, where it comes up like it's laying on its side. So I'm going to put a black line right in there. So this is actually the skin of the watermelon here. And then we're going to put a darker black, or you'd use your dark green shadow under here. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of that same green and add some of the dark green to it. And let's create some grass here, just a few little strands. You can add yellow to it, you can add green, you can add white. You want variegated colors here. So you just touch and pull. Get enough green in there. There we go. Now up here on the sky, I'm going to add a dark blue up at the top. I thought maybe my design is going to get it in there a little bit bigger, but just going to rub this in. Then I'm going to take that same blue and clean that up right there with a wet brush. Let's take that mop brush and clean that up a little bit. So this is just a soft brush that's getting some of that out of there, extra paint. And we need a shadow here, right up against your rind. A little bit more here. And actually on this side of his body, sorry, I'm gonna keep turning it around, right in there would create a shadow. Create a little bit of a shadow right there at the top. That shadows, the shadows just really make it. And then right here, I should switch brushes to a smaller one. Right in there, we need a shadow. Create one coming down. We don't need too much on the side of his face at all. Oh, he's cute. What I do want to do is take another soft brush, put some white on it, and then increase the look of my clouds. Got a little bit too much yellow in here. I mean, just pat in, tap it in. There we go. I like that look. He is adorable. Adorable, adorable. You can just keep scrubbing wherever you want with your different colors. And he is a cute black ant. I do want one more thing. I want to lighten this up on the rind a little bit more. And back in here with some white. I desperately need to change my palette and my tinfoil that I'm using over here. I got too many colors out. So this little bit of white right at the top where you had the yellow is just going to highlight it even more, make it more dimensional. Right there. Oh, you know what? We need a little bit of lightness because the rind just down here. And right there at top. But otherwise, I'm really happy with that. It turned out really cute. I'm happy with it. All right, thanks for joining me, everybody.